So today we're going to talk about rules and bans for both 5v5 and 15 versus 15. The 5v5 is going to be a little more in depth, especially seeing as the diffuse ladders had started recently. And then we're going to talk a bit about the 15 versus 15 conquest. So first of all, the first big question is going to be regarding motion balls, because that created a bit of an argument throughout the community. So I'm going to go around. For those who are new here, I go around down the list, and I asked you guys to briefly discuss your opinion on the subject matter. I'm just going to go down the list, and then we're going to move on to the next subject. At the end of all the subjects being discussed, we will vote on them, and I will pass around a form that I've created, but that's going to be all the way at the end. So for now, we're going to start discussing stuff. So motion balls, what do you guys think? Should they be banned? Should they not be banned? Should they be allowed, or should they even just be reduced? In the sense, should we allow only like one recon per team, for example? Motion balls. Alright, Dak. Opinion.
Almighty's opinion is that we should keep that in game. We have nothing against motion balls.
Sarge, what do you think? Should they be allowed, not be allowed?
HaVc's opinion is you should either take it out or limit it to just one recon per team.
Rep guy.
Tao TKO have no reservations against it. We're happy with it remaining in.
Are you sure? Because there was a pretty heated discussion regarding moving them on your side.
Oh.
Was there now? I've been misinformed. I shall clarify that as soon as I can.
Okay.
Let's just say the guy who was pissed doesn't play defuse, so.
Yeah.
Alright guys, please bit on subject.
Yeah, I'll clarify that.
Okay. Fido, what do you guys think?
Yeah, so since I can spawn as recon and support and spam the motion balls, I think it should be banned.
Okay. That's a good point regarding the spam. The other point that before I move on is that to consider is, does banning them reduce the recon class utility to 0 compared to other classes, or like does it render it completely useless? Or, you know, is there still some use to people playing the recon class when we ban the motion balls? Because in the end, we're going to make it so that every class is playable and there's some variety. Obviously, we don't want to take away the skill aspect of the game mode. Bugsy.
Icon's really got no opinion on this right now. We're not on the ladder, so I'm not going to waste anyone's time.
Alright.
But, yeah.
Snip.
He put in the chat that he wanted to ban it. I don't know if he's gonna talk.
Okay. Jester.
I say limit it.
Krivo?
Well, you probably have seen I've argued in favor of this for a while. I think I've used them in the new defuse and the old defuse, and I've played against them, and I think having just one recon is a fair limit that addresses both sides of the argument. I really don't see a big issue. I haven't seen any teams use a support and a recon together, but I really don't see a big issue. So I'd say either limit it or just allow it.
Okay. Yeah, I will say it is kind of annoying when I've had some teams spam multiple motion balls.
It can matter, but the one thing I think might be an issue is when one team's using motion balls a lot, the other team feels compelled to use motion balls too to level the playing field. And I wanted to address what you said too about if we ban motion balls, is the recon useless? Not entirely useless, because a lot of people have pointed to using sniper rifles as a pretty I would say it's a mixed strategy. It has some benefits, and the reality is, if you snipe someone and even in the face, they can still get rezzed. So it's not the most useful thing in the world to have a sniper rifle, but you can lock down an area. So the recon is not useless without motion balls, but it does make it a much more viable class to have motion balls. Like I said, I don't think it's useful enough to be that every team's going to use it, and therefore it's not unfair.
Okay. Because, I mean, the other gadget that would remain would be the PLD, but let's face it, unless you're really trying to MLG spot people with it, it's not really.
I use the PLD.
Okay, well, to each their own. I'm not here to judge. So Rastafar, what do you think?
Well, our opinion in the Black Sheep was just kind of ban the motion balls, but I mean, I don't think we'd really have a problem if we limited it, because we don't really see it as a huge issue. But I know that lots of guys kind of wanted to ban them, so we're kind of indifferent.
No. Same.
I started off thinking that we should keep them, and then the more that I play with it, the more I realize, like, play with it, play without it. When we play without it, the game just feels like it plays better. I'm not totally against it. I would definitely be way more leaning towards the limitation of recon. I do fear the support recon combo because I played RPG last night and they did the support NG combo and that was scary. So I know anything is possible, and getting rid of motion balls, like people said, it doesn't limit the recon really that much at all. I know we still have a lot of recon strat when it comes to with rooftops still being allowed. It really helps with rooftops. So, I mean, my personal opinion is I would ban them. If not ban, limit them. And that's the way I think about it.
Yeah, I do agree that it does play better without motion balls.
It plays so much better. I played it both ways, and it plays better.
Slip, because I know Slip is going to reply in chat. And motion balls. Alright, Sora, what do you think?
I think you should ban them. I never liked the spotting shit in games anyway, so.
Up Lebin.
I think you should ban them because you can easily oversee like the whole bomb area on the fuse, and in my opinion, it's too overpowered considering like the bomb situations on the fuse.
War on.
For us, is just ban them. It's a bit cheap for us, so too easy.
Zerk.
From what I understand, my guys don't really care, but if you want a slightly more educated answer, I'd say just keep it to 1 recon per team. You get 3 balls. I mean, it's not like you have 10 of them or anything, and no team that has half a brain is gonna give up 1 guy with a pair of paddles over a support guy. That's just stupid. You know, like it could be good for a scrim or something, but when it comes to competitive on tournaments and whatnot, you know, really it's just not very realistic. I don't feel. So, you know, I'd gladly go for 1 recon per team. You know, I don't care about banning them or whatever. Like, they've been in the game, they've been in past Battlefield games, and they weren't that much of a problem anyway. And in this game, you know, they last for what, 10,
seconds.
15 seconds or whatever, you know. And so yeah.
Alright. Next subject that I want to bring up, which wasn't talked about as much, but I know it was implemented in ESB France, and this is going to be a subject relating to diffuse only, so I would vote for allow them in domination, but ban them in diffuse. And I know some people are gonna go berserk over this, but it's still something to consider. Paddles, so being able to revive people in diffuse. Should we allow that? I'm talking diffuse only. Obviously, domination makes sense to have them, but for diffuse, does it a bit ruin the aspect of the 1 spawn? Because then someone can just revive.
Are we just doing open floor, or you want to go one at a time here?
I'm gonna go open. I'm gonna go one at a time. Open floor, just dead ass. Dak, what do you think?
We see paddles as not really killing the aspect of the game. It doesn't seem to be that much of a problem in defuse games, considering that most of the time paddles don't seem to revive when it glitches out. But we would vote to keep them in.
Sarge.
HaVc would also vote to keep him in. We don't think it takes away from the game mode that much.
Rep guy.
Pretty sure our guys would like them left in. No real danger with that.
Paddles and defibrillators. Fido.
Yep. Oh, okay.
So Fido, what do you think?
Yeah, it should be allowed.
Just
I
for
think it should be
defuse,
allowed.
because.
Yeah, should be allowed, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay. Bugs, you're not gonna comment?
No opinion, but yeah.
Alright, Snip. Type in chat if you can't have a mic. Snip, can you hear?
Or all that he has said is that they banned it in France.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I brought it up. Because to me it was a valid point of discussion, even if it wasn't mentioned. Just what do you think?
Nas would vote to keep him in.
Crevo?
As a team, I'm sure RPG doesn't want to ban them. I also want to point out that at various times in the game, I'll just get killed by the server for no reason. I was playing on Dawnbreaker and I accidentally teleported or something like that, and the game just insta-killed me. And you can get rezzed out of that, so that's one reason to keep them in, just because the game's glitched. Personally, I think we should maybe try doing scrims with no paddles, because a lot of us here probably haven't tried it. See how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I see the pros and cons. I understand people want to keep them because, you know, they're used to them. But for defuse, I feel like, I don't know, sometimes it's happened where we've had one last guy kill 2 people, and then the last one that was left, so it was a 1v3 situation. The last one just revived both of them. And then in a situation where, okay, well, you know, you can only kill so many people, so many times.
Alright, well, at the same time, wouldn't that have been your buddy's fault for not watching those bodies after you killed them? I mean, that's my opinion, is take them out or leave them in. I mean, you leave them in, still, you know, the point is that the revive timer is so low, and half the time the bodies are glitched that I don't think it's really that big of an issue. So I say don't even touch them.
I want to point out too that we don't know this for sure. Like I said, I kind of want to try it, but I have a theory that the game would become a little bit more defensive oriented, because right now on a map like Dawnbreaker, if you try to push Skybridge as the offensive team, you're going to lose somebody going through that doorway. And that means you cannot make that push unless you can res. They're not going to make that push if they know they're going to lose a man and can't res him. So you're talking about limiting offensive options significantly if you take out the defibs. But maybe new strategies will come about too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Alright, Saint.
I see how it would change the game. I mean, obviously it's a no respawn game, and having paddles and rezzing people would definitely change that game mode. But at the same time, with the game that we have, paddles kind of just make sense. It's that type of game. I don't know. It's only one revive per player. You can't revive more than once. So if you shoot him, you kill him. They revive him, you kill him again. He's dead. It's nothing to worry about. I haven't seen it be really a big issue. It just adds like more concern when you drop a guy. So I would vote to keep him, but I would also be more than willing to try without, like Crevo said, because I always like trying different stuff.
Okay. Slip. Allow reviving. Alright. Sora.
No opinion, just skip me.
Okay. Labim?
I think you should ban them because, you know, I played mostly of the time with my team without it. And, you know, like in Call of Duty, it's like 2 game modes, Search and Rescue and Search and Destroy. And in Search and Rescue you can like revive people, and it's a different game type. And in my opinion it's like destroying the whole idea of the game type. But yeah, I think we should ban them.
Can I clarify, Deuce, before we move on? Are we talking about only paddles and keeping the medic bags in?
Oh yeah. Literally only paddles. And just for defuse. Like, I wouldn't even have the idea of banning them for domination. This is just for defuse, because of how the game mode was set up, like with the one life. So that's just...
Yeah, it makes sense to bring up because, like you said, it's a no respawn game mode, and we're respawning people pretty much. But at the same time, with the game we have and
yeah,
the
I
glitches
understand
that
you
it has,
saying that because of we're playing Battlefield and there's paddles in Battlefield, but the whole concept of the game mode was you have one life. So that's why I brought it in. I said I'm not
I'm saying
for or
it's
against,
a good,
but
it's a good idea. Like I said, I want to try it out, just like Kriva does.
War on. What do you think?
Deficits are, yeah, they are okay for us. So.
Zerk.
Yeah, man.
Whilst what I'm talking about in the chat may contradict what I'm about to say, I'm all for them. You know, they're in the game for a reason. Use them. They're not. I still don't consider them overpowered. Not in this game, at least. You do a quick res that's like 20 health. Like all you got to do is fart on them and then they die again. So, but like Krivo said, you know, let some teams try it out. You know, there's no harm in it. But like I said, I just don't see how they're that big a hindrance in this game mode, to be honest.
I think I'd be more open to it if, sorry, I just want to jump in. If, I know this is something everyone complains about, but like if the netcode, if the tick rate were better, because right now insta-death happens a lot and nobody's happy with it. And when it's like that, you could kind of feel robbed if you get dropped a certain way and can't be picked up. So if the game were in a more complete state, I'd be like, yes, let's do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was talking about when I said like the current state of the game. Because if you sometimes you don't even know you're getting hit, you don't even know when to grab covers, and you're just down, and it's a little lame.
Now another big topic, and I know Snip feels very strong about this one. Rooftops. Should we allow rooftops on every map? Should we not allow them on any map? Should we allow them just on a few maps? No, we're talking, this is diffuse, right? Diffuse and domination. We're gonna talk about conquest after.
We're talking about domination here too?
Well, it's the same map, it's the same. There's no reason to say we're gonna ban something in one, for the most part, and not ban it for the other. And then if we feel that when the private servers come out and we play 5v5 Dom, if we feel that some of the things that we banned or didn't ban should be reversed or vice versa, then, you know, we can go ahead and do that. But for now, to get a baseline, a blueprint, then this will include domination as well. So, Dak, what do you think about the rooftops?
AM has no opinion on this.
Sarge?
I know my defuse guys specifically would prefer rooftops not be allowed. I don't know what the Dom team thinks.
Rep guy?
I think our teams just find them a massive annoyance. I'd probably say that they'd be happy with them on some, but ban them on others, especially like Shanghai and stuff like that.
Fido.
I think we should ban them.
Every map?
I said I think should ban it.
Okay, but every map or?
Yeah, I think all maps.
Bugsy, you know, comment.
No opinion.
Snip. Ban. Just.
We would say to ban them. Think that it takes away from the overall idea of the mode. Just to have somebody sit up there and you can't. So ban them on all maps.
Kriva.
I think they're fine, but I love the rooftops, so maybe I'm biased. I would say RPG votes to keep them in for the sake of strategic variety, but not the end of the world if they were gone.
Remember that it's not because you ban them on one that you have to ban them on all, because maybe some maps, like Hainan, if the rooftop exposes more of the map than...
The thing about Hainan is that it's already so defensive oriented if the defenders kind of lock up shop, but it's hard to hit things from the rooftop still. Like I mean, anybody who plays against me know I dropped a Gold Coast, the short part of the hotel, not the roof, but the second lowest part, every time, every round on defense. But I can't get there before the offenders get to the bomb sites if they rush. So I think it adds variety with a cost. Maybe I would consider on a map by map basis voting.
Yeah. I have included it in the forum. Don't worry, it's map by map. What I will say, for example, before I keep going, is that maybe, like you said, Hainan is defensive oriented. Maybe the roof is a little unfair because only one side has it. But a map like Zavod, for example, both teams spawn with a ladder right next to them. So maybe over there that can be fine.
I guess what I mean is that on a map like Hainan, even without the rooftop, it's defensive. But I don't think the rooftop adds much more in terms of defensive favor, because by the time you get up the elevator and get down to the Gold Coast spot, which is an area you can actually kill people from, the enemies could be all the way behind you. I don't know. I would, again, map by map, I would be happy to talk about it.
Rastafari.
Well, my opinion on this, and I think Black Sheep's opinion in general, is if you can get up to the roof and everybody can get to it without, using some sort of exploit to do it, I think it's fine. But then again, if you guys want to ban it, it's not that big of a deal.
Same.
I'd be down for considering more on a map by map basis. Like I said earlier about the recon, we found strats to con a roof pretty easy. Like even on Shanghai, where a sniper wouldn't really make sense. We don't use snipers to counter the roof there. We have different strategies. Even with the new bomb being spotted, we found different strategies. So it's not like it's unbeatable. And the only one that I would really have a problem with on Zavad, where there's two roofs, but then there's two roofs above those roofs. One side can get to that second roof without exposing himself, and the other side has to go around to the front side to get up. So I would ban the second story roof on Zavad, and I would have to think more about the other roofs, but I don't really see a problem. Like I said, we found other ways around it.
That's a good point. I understand that sometimes the argument is, well, it's not hard to counter. Well, that obviously that depends on team-to-team basis. But it's also should be considered as, is it taken away from the game?
Yeah, I'm sure it would definitely change the game if we weren't playing roofs. And another thing I'd be down to try, I guess, but at the same time, we found ways to counter it, we found ways to play against it, and sometimes they stop playing the roof because of it, and they play us normal, so it's just a different way to strategize.
Slip. Alright, no need for caps. They're all peaceful. Sora.
Ban them on all maps.
Labim.
Yeah, I think too, and they should be banned on all maps.
Waron.
Banned on all maps.
Zerk.
I'll be down for doing it on a map to map basis.
Alright. Before I go on talking about some other gadgets, and possibly, I know some people have expressed the need to maybe ban a few maps, or one or two, because maybe there were glitches on them, or whatever, or unbalanced, or whatever the reason may be. But before I go on talking about that, I wanted to address the ladder being altered due to the bomb carrier glitch. So I'm gonna go around and ask you guys, what do you think? Should we start it back up? Should we halt it until it's fixed? And the main point here is that we had, as ESB, we had prizes ready for the playoffs. So there were gonna be, stuff people could win. I'm not gonna detail into what, but it's nothing humongous, but it was enough that it would spark interest in most people. So my question is, do you want to keep it going, or do we want to remove the ladder until it's fixed? And if we do keep it going with the bomb carrier glitch, then I will say that we will not be committing prizes as ESB for this current season, meaning that we'll just host another one or another tournament or invitation, whatever it is, and then put them there. Dak, what do you think?
I would say that we keep the ladder, but we give a little bit of a grace period for teams to get adjusted to the new defuse.
Grace period as in?
As in maybe a week or two to let teams experience what the new defuse is like and come up with new strats adjusting to the defuse changes.
So I mean, not starting the ladder up for another 1 or 2 weeks, or starting it up and adding 2 weeks for the playoffs?
Adding 2 weeks, or just 1 week for the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, obviously we would adjust the playoff time accordingly. We wouldn't, we did miss 2 weeks, so we're gonna account for that. Sarge.
I'd say, you can continue. I don't know if my guys are going to keep playing or not. I haven't really talked to them about it, but other than that, I don't have any opinion. I can get back to you on what my guys think.
Jesta.
We haven't really had an opinion on it as well on the glitch. I would think probably wait on it.
Repka?
I know it's an annoyance for our guys, but I don't really have an opinion on it, and I'm pretty sure they don't either.
Vito?
I think should wait until be fixed. The bomb carrier spot is very annoying.
Bugs is gonna pass. Snip. Give him a second to type it out. Okay, we know it sucks, but the question isn't if it sucks or not, because it does, but... Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna keep going forward.
I think he said wait. We'll go with that.
Kribo. Kribo has his sound muted. Reason? Alright, I'm just gonna go forward and then unmute himself. Rastafari.
I think the ladder should keep going. As bad as the bomb carrier spot is, this ladder, the whole point of this ladder is to get teams playing against each other and having fun and competing. And like you said, if there's no prizes for this ladder because of the glitch, who cares, right? Just get out there and play some games, and then hit the next ladder hard when there's prizes. So I say keep it going.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Saint.
I'm not really for the current game mode. I've only played 3 scrims, but I think it obviously you can add different strategies to it. It's just really broken. Like a main strategy in this new defuse is to not play the objective and make it a no respawn TDM, and it's a broken game mode. With that being said, though, I do agree with Rastafari. We should keep teams playing, but it definitely should not be an official thing. Like, if we're gonna do a ladder, sure, whatever. If people want to see numbers on a website, that's cool, but it's lame.
Well, exactly. That's just it, right? Is right now, if we're not playing for prizes or anything, we're just playing for the numbers on the ladder.
It's all
exactly.
it is.
So who cares, right? We're just getting out there and actually playing and having fun.
I'm all for doing that. If that's what we need to keep people having fun, then let's keep putting numbers on web pages. But it's not official, in my opinion.
Yeah, as worse as it goes, we can do an invitational, or even do a second season. Well, it depends how long we need to wait for the servers, because if servers are announced, for example, next month, then we'll likely just do an invitational and get ready for the Glory Series stuff and announce all that.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what DICE decides to do on that side of things. So hopefully we'll keep you guys updated on that. Slip. Creve, I'm gonna go to you since you have.
Yeah, sorry about that. This TeamSpeak does not agree with my computer for some reason. Anyway, I think we can't put official matches up. I would say if teams were willing to play with it and wanted the ladder resumed, then I would be happy to have the ladder resumed. But the reality is teams are scrimming less, not because the ladder's not active, but because it's not fun playing defuse. I mean, I know RPGs we've played probably 10 plus scrims since this change happened, and we're only having fun because there's literally nothing else to do. Like, pubbing sucks. That's why we're playing defuse with a glitched bomb carrier. Otherwise, we would be doing something else. If there was another option, we'd be doing something else. But because this is what's available, what the fuck's the point? That's why we're not seeing in the 5v5 chat. I'm sorry, I don't mean to swear. That's why we're not seeing activity in the 5v5 chat. It's because it's not fun to play for a lot of people. And I would say that some teams benefit from this change, but most teams see it as a hurt to their strategies, to how they play the game.
Yeah, I do agree on that. OPS feels the same way.
Something?
Go ahead.
Alright, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Creepo, but at the same time, you get this obstacle thrown at you, and now the bomb carrier's spotted all the time, so now it kind of forces offensive teams to play differently. You got to come up with new strategies. Oh, do we maybe not even want to take the bomb? Oh, do we maybe want to run the bomb? Grab the bomb and have the bomb carrier run this way as a distraction. I mean, it sucks, but I don't think that we should just stop playing defuse because of this stupid glitch that DICE hasn't fixed.
I don't think he was saying we should stop. I think he was just kind of saying what I was saying, which is that the game mode is broken. I mean...
Oh, for sure.
Let me clarify.
For sure it is.
I'm still happy to play defuse, and I think that scrims should continue as much as possible. I wish more people would be playing a scrims, because right now, RPG pretty much plays Downfall and maybe 2 other teams every night. Not Downfall, I'm sorry, Ride or Clyde. We play the same teams every night. I wish there was more variety. I feel like there's not more variety because no one wants to play the broken-ass game. But I still want to.
Sora.
Oh, we haven't played in this ladder, so I don't know.
Lebim?
I think there's no harm done if you reopen the ladder, In fact, I know, for example, for the Xbox ladder, there's 2 teams who want to play tonight, and I didn't know if it's open again. But they would play, if it's open. So if teams agree on the situations, the bomb carrier always been spotted. If it's okay for them, why wouldn't you let them play? I mean, it's understandable if people don't want to play until it's fixed, but I think it's also no problem to open the ladder again.
Okay. War on.
No opinion.
Dirk?
Honestly, why even open the ladder again when this joke of a game mode is just like... I don't know, you can't even call it a game mode, it's just something that DICE completely screwed up in the last patch, and now it's just like glorified TDM, So yeah, I say just keep it closed down, I mean, it's a shame that teams aren't scrimming as much, but I think, like Crevo said, that's just because there's not any other option available to us right now, So yeah, for the time being, I say just keep it closed. There's really not much point.
Yeah, the no other option part is a very valid point, because there aren't even any Conquest small servers, so teams can't even play that like we did at the start of Battlefield 3.12.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty frustrating.
I gotta think that they're releasing a patch and the second assault and fix everything. Not everything, I'm sorry, but fix this defuse thing in a week. They better, or I mean, well, yeah, they better. What's gonna happen if they don't? I think that they will within a week or so.
Is there any truth to the rumor that second assault is coming out on the 18th for premium?
That's what people have said.
I saw a picture that someone took a screenshot of a Origin page. And it was in German, so I wasn't really able to understand it very well, but I could see dates, and it said the 18th.
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. I mean, it kind of makes sense with.
I think the rumor was that it was this month at the latest. So Yeah.
End of this month is what I heard, but 18th would be a concrete.
18th would be the premium date, and then like the open date would be
1 week later
after
is the
that.
20.
Yeah.
20. Yeah.
I can't wait to play Metro again. Never thought I'd say that.
Alright. You guys can get your own room and talk about how much you love Metro another time. After going back to just playing one map for 4 years. With that being said, I'm gonna just really quickly talk about the topic I discussed earlier about any maps being banned. So this is gonna be just quickly. If you have a map that you feel should be banned, just tell me the map and just a brief description as to why you believe it should be banned, and diffuse and dom. Not more to it, and then you guys can vote at the end. Dak. Are you here?
He just muted his mic.
You
Alright.
can pass me.
Alright, Sarge, you got anything?
I don't think any maps need to be banned. I just think on certain maps, rooftops should be banned.
I'm just talking, just like physically the maps. The rooftop thing is another discussion. So if you guys don't have anything, just pass.
China Rising? Are we discussing China Rising?
No, just the vanilla.
Alright, pass.
Jesta,
Pass is the same. No opinion on that. It's all good.
Rep Guy,
Pass.
Vito.
Sorry, repeat the question.
You think any maps should be banned for dom and diffuse?
What map? Sorry. So,
Do you think that any map should be banned?
oh no, all maps should be allowed.
Nip, are you here? Kriva.
I would say if we're not discussing just vanilla, then no, we don't need to ban them for defuse. I haven't played them all in a competitive sense on Dom, so I'm not sure if they're unbalanced on Dom.
No. Rastafari?
No opinion. I don't think any should get banned.
Saint?
I'm just gonna remind everyone about Zavad quick and all the invisible walls and how broken of a map that is. Even though it's just one area of the map, I can go right now and I can bet you I can find 12 invisible walls easily. And if a map itself is broken, I mean, that's a reason to ban it. That's all I'm gonna say. If it's fixed, I'm more than happy to play that map. I love Zavad. I'm sad that I'm saying that it should be banned, but with all the invisible walls, it should be. That's my opinion on that, I guess. But other maps I'm okay with. They're unbalanced, yeah, but I mean, Zavad.
Flip? Sora?
No bans.
Labimb? Labimb, are you here? No.
He said sorry, Mike, in the chat.
War on? Yeah.
No bans.
Zerk?
No bans.
Alright, last topic regarding defuse and dom is, are there any gadgets that you guys feel that should be banned that aren't currently banned? I'm going to remind people that currently on the diffuse ladder, what's banned are minis, impacts, C4, claymores, M320, and the airburst, apart from smoke. Mortars, the SUAV, UCAV, EOD, tugs, and maps are what's banned.
Unban you, Gav!
Why did you ban the EOD bot? Thing's amazing.
In before 5v5 dom EOD only. I guess they're patching the EODs and the SOFLAM's capping flags, so that's kind of a downer for me. Alright, if there's not, I'm gonna just go quickly by you guys if you think there's something that should be banned. One thing I will say is that spawn beacon wise, I know in defuse there's not really a use for it, but on Dom that could be a problem for some that couldn't?
I would be down for banning spawn beacons on Dom, because I know in 5v5 CQ for Battlefield 3 it was banned, and when it was used, like I played scrims with it on Battlefield 3, it was a clear advantage. Like you could hide a beacon at the enemy's home flag, and you're pretty much guaranteed their home flag the entire game. So in domination, I would say no beacon.
I would also say no beacon.
So quickly, Dax, no beacon.
No, I would vote to ban it.
Sarge.
Shotguns. That's all I have to say.
No, they're already banned. But I was talking about like actual gadgets.
Oh, then no comment.
Just
No, you pretty much have it.
Rep guy.
No comment on this one.
Tito.
No beacons.
Bucks goes beacons. Snip isn't here. Crevo.
I haven't tried beacons on BF4, but Sora and Saint pointed out that the rules for 5v5 on Battlefield 3 were perfect the way they were, so I wouldn't change much there. I want to point out that the guys in RPG keep asking me if they can use shotguns, and I keep saying no, they're banned, but they keep wondering why they're banned, and I mean, maybe we should try a few scrims with shotguns legal, because I think it would just be funny.
Alright, Crevo, how about we do OPS RPG slugs only?
No, slugs suck,
we can
dude.
make a video about it.
We can do slugs only. I'm gonna wear the defensive perk so that you can't one-shot me.
I will come to your house if you do that. Alright. Rastafari.
No beacon.
Saint.
I already said no beacon, and I can't really think of anything else. As
No
far as the
beacon.
5v5 or CSL rules go, I didn't like the pro mod rules though, just to get that out there.
Yeah, we're not going that way. And regarding that, there's a reason it was placed in pro mod is because on consoles, when they had LANs, there was no unlock all on the servers. So that's, if people don't know, that's why the pro mod was M16s only. Slip. Bacon. Sora.
Beacon.
Alright. Labim.
No beacons, and I don't know if it's banned. DMRs, are they banned?
I don't think so.
No,
okay.
DMRs aren't banned.
Because I definitely would like to see them banned, because especially after the latest patch, they're just extremely overpowered.
They're a long-range shotgun, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I can include that in the vote real quick. I'll add it real quick. So you can vote on that.
I second that vote.
So that's a good point to bring up. Waron?
No opinion.
Zerk?
I guess ban them. I haven't used them much, but why not ban? Why not?
Well, we don't want to ban things if they don't need to be banned.
Well, I'm just talking from a perspective from somebody that's looking out. Or no, somebody that's looking in, because I don't play fives. So, you know, but in my world, in my perfect world, I'd like it to be as skill-based as possible. Like a game mode for a competitive group of people, right? So I'm thinking, you know, with the spawn beacon, I'm really quite indifferent, because it can be, based on Conquest on Battlefield 3, it can be an incredible annoyance. So in a game mode like Defuse, I can see it being somewhat terrible. So, you know, I'm kind of swaying towards ban them, I guess.
Well, they don't work in defuse, but if you mean Dom, yeah, I think people have argued that that spawn beacons are no good in Dom. And again, I haven't really played comp Dom on BF4 because trying to get 10v10 is tough. But if it's anything like BF3, which it's mostly the same, then yeah, it's going to be problematic, I think.
Okay. I have added the DMR question to the form. Now, we're going to go to 15 versus 15 Conquest. And while a lot of 15 versus 15 teams play defuse and domination. I can't really say that for vice versa. So I understand if some people won't have as much of an opinion as others.
Are you gonna require everyone to answer every question? Because I know personally, I don't know if I should be making rules for Conquest when I've only played 2 Conquest matches.
I'm giving everyone the possibility to answer the defuse and dom stuff. And
but are you requiring them to answer it? Like if they choose to pass the question, can they pass?
I'm requiring them to answer it, yes.
Alright, I'm just saying because now we're gonna have, like we have here, like Bugsby passing every question, but yet he's gonna vote because he has to.
Well, Bugsy can not vote on the defuse stuff. That's fine with me. I know this special case.
Timed out.
Code. I know this is a little out of the blue, but somebody asked me to bring up the whole 10v10 thing again because you know, I understand that the last time we all spoke, we went for 15s, but he was talking to me a little bit, and he kind of made a really valid point. The game in about 8 months, time, there's a possibility that
User entered your
out
channel.
of all of our teams, half of our players won't even be touching the game anymore. And, you know, to put so much focus on 15s, that kind of puts a lot of pressure on leaders to try and recruit more and more people. You know, and whilst it's doable, you know, we've done it in Battlefield 3 and whatnot, it's just a pain in the ass. You know, so I'm thinking, you know, maybe at a later date even we could bring it up. We could bring the subject up again. You know, but I just he just reminded me on Skype to ask you about it. So
okay,
why
well,
bring it up?
regarding the size thing, I do understand that can be a problem for some teams. I know some teams on the other hand wanted 20s, which is a bit unrealistic in my opinion. And I think the 15s is more of a middle ground, especially because we did mention, if you remember, the DLC map subject. And if you play 10s, no one's gonna want to play the DLC maps. And it's exactly what happened in Battlefield 3 because the maps were just too big because they were designed for 16 over 16.
But so, do we even know how big the DLC maps are for Small Conquest? I mean,
it's always a standard 3 flag normally. So
I think you can look it up because PC has them on Small Conquest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I bring it up because I didn't want to piss him off, you know, because I did say that I would bring it up.
I said we can discuss it in the future. Right now, moving forward, we are gonna go with 15. Maybe, you know, if we realize that in 6 or 7 months that, you know, people are starting to lose interest in the game, that maybe 15s aren't the way to go. You know, we're gonna have councils every month, so, you know, things will be brought up regularly and voted on regularly, depending on how the community as a whole feels about them.
Okay. So, no problem.
Okay, talking about conquest bans, for me the ideal for conquest is to not ban anything. This is talking about an ideal world where everything is balanced, and that's why I really enjoyed, and I think a lot of you feel the same way, the Battlefield 3 conquest on Frag Nation, for example, where there were no rules apart from the occasional ban on the M16s because they were glitched at the time, but there were no actual bans. What my personal opinion is, talking for OPS, is to ban 3 little things that are kind of auto-guided and I don't feel take any skill. MBT law, I think that shouldn't be allowed, even if it's nerfed. It just, you know, shoots through everything, even if it will take into account active protection from now on. But staff shell is another one. I'm sorry, but, you know, tank fights are just not as skillful. Actually, probably take no skill with the staff shell there. And yes, the active radar missiles, which pretty much enter your helicopter in an X Games competition because you start flipping around everywhere without control. So personally, I think that's the only things we should ban right now. If you guys feel that there's anything else that should be banned, I'm gonna go through the list. Please tell me and the others what you think should be banned. But a reminder to ban the bare minimum on Conquest, because that's the way it's always been. And, you know, there's no reason to ban most of the stuff. Alright, deck.
I would agree with you that we should ban MBT loss, staff shell, and active radar. And that's about it.
Okay. Sarge.
I agree as well, but make sure you put emphasis on active radar for all vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on, are we talking about the active radar missiles? Or are we talking about active protection that you're talking about?
No, active radar missiles.
Active radar missiles.
The one that lock on.
Like
auto
okay.
lock.
When you said all vehicles, I was like, what other vehicles use it? You mean because you can fire them from a stealth jet too, right?
You can use them on stealth, AA, and attack boats.
Oh, I thought they were... Okay, yeah, alright, thank you. I forgot which ones they were
on. Jesta?
I'm not one for rules, but I do agree with the staff and the active radar deal. I would go for that.
Rep guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the opinion that MBT laws, staff shells, and active radar, especially since they're pretty much uncountermeasurable at this time, you know, I think they should be gone. And then I think there's possibly a slight issue of being able to spot what they fucking called M2 slams. So they might need a look at, but that might just be me. So yeah.
No, it's not just you. They're glitched. You can't spot them.
Yeah, I agree there. They're hard to see and you can't spot them.
Okay, well, if they are glitched in the sense that you can't spot them, then we should disable them until they are spottable.
They're supposed to get fixed in this next update. Their blast radius and I think the spotting thing too.
Yeah, I know they're fixing the blast radius from 3 to 6 damage, from 6 to 3 rather.
Just remember, this is dice we're talking about here.
Yeah, they're probably going to ruin the game with this patch. So.
You never know. Maybe they're gonna break obliteration now. You won't be able to see the bomb carrier.
They are coming out with a 8v8, 5v5 obliteration.
Yeah. Well, topic for discussion other time. Okay, because people keep changing their tag, so the list keeps changing. Bugsy. Enlighten us with your knowledge.
Jesus Christ, I've been here for an hour waiting for this. Alright. I'd agree with the whole staff shell, MBT law, active gator. Some other stuff that might need to be looked into for making like a map like Lockers playable with all the choke point fuck ups. We might need to look at LVGs and airburst, but until we get to play, I couldn't tell you how it's gonna turn out with just 15 versus 15. Obviously, like the fucking pub stacks right now are fucking just spam fest, but I don't know about UCAV either right now, because with the UCAV, it's pretty easy to just kill the whole enemy team out of their helicopter, and it's kind of ridiculous. Given the last patch, the UCAV, you don't need to sit on an ammo box anymore to get a UCAV back. So it like regenerates after about 45 seconds. Just like it'll just come back. So yeah.
Snip. Roofs on Conquest? I don't.
What if you fall out of your helicopter?
Right. I mean,
I would not agree with that.
I don't agree.
Don't touch roofs in Conquest.
There's no need. It's not game.
We need our roof camping. I know what you're doing.
I think that would only apply to defuse or Dom, not Conquest.
Prevo.
Agreed.
I think slams were brought up. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. On the other side of what Bugsy said with Operation Locker, again, we don't know exactly what Conquest is going to look like, but having played in a Tau pub stack, I can say that on Operation Locker, the MP-APS, that's the anti-missile, anti-grenade detector, that thing can, and hey, no offense to Tal, I'm just saying this is what was used, and it was very effective, too effective. It would stop all incoming fire inside of the locker area by
Yeah, Spot put it the right way. It's literally the Eye of Sauron.
yeah, it's the Eye of Sauron. It stops everything, which means that all combat. I'm just saying this is how Operation Locker is going to go if things legal. All combat is going to be out on the snow, and it's going to be obnoxious spam fest the whole game. So
Yeah, mortars were crazy in that game. I was the only HaVc player there, and I got killed by a mortar like 6 times.
Rustafar, I think you're gonna pass on this one. You said.
Yeah, we don't really have opinion on this because we don't play Conquest. So.
Saint, I know you said you're gonna pass.
Yeah, leave it to the professionals.
Slip. Yeah, the LVG is a good point, and I'm gonna have Bugsy talk about it a little bit more after. I feel strongly about that, especially when Icon was one of the teams that really introduced it into the play in Battlefield 3. Sora.
The MBT law, active radar, and the staff shell, of course. And I wonder how the javelin is going to turn out after the patch, but we will see. That's everything.
Yeah, anything after the patch, we'll just have to see if anything's broken, anything is glitched, and vice versa. Or
for me, everything what you said, and yeah, personal for me, C4 quads. Like they can flank really easily because the maps are pretty open. You can, like for on Sabbath, and I saw on the Team 10 vs 10 tournament on PC, it went like crazy. Only C4 quads. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know if the tankers were so bad, but yeah, like they are fast and yeah, it's so easy, and I think it's a little bit cheap.
Okay, well, maybe people will. I know most people will wouldn't want to ban the C4 jeeps. Maybe the slam jeeps. So you can just run into people.
They are like the same.
I don't see a difference between the two. What's the difference?
Yeah, nothing.
I don't know.
Only
there's
after
a difference. Hold on. The slam jeeps, you don't need to get off them, and they're a lot harder to stop. Since like even if you right, so let's say you tank shell a slam jeep, the slams will actually stay there floating in midair, or they'll go under the ground, and that tank will end up running over them and end up still dying to that.
Yeah.
So shit. Wow, we
yeah.
just need to ban slams.
So yeah, it's a little bit ugly, and yeah.
Or with the slam jeeps, if you kill the driver, then if the jeep keeps going towards you for some reason, you're gonna still blow up with the slam jeeps.
And the quads are fast. Like if you miss one shot, mostly they come in the flank. If you spot him, you missed maybe one shot, and you're already fucked.
I'm cool with keeping the C4. We're not here to ban jihad jeeps.
Yeah, we're not here to ban
the slams are kind of ridiculous.
Right there.
Yeah.
We're just talking about whether the slams are fair or not, because you can shoot the guy in the face, and then the jeep with 10% health maybe just go near you a little bit, and you're just gonna blow up.
I've shot people off those jihad fucking M-Slam jeeps, and the thing just keeps rolling in and just rolls in and blows up the tank. It's incredibly frustrating.
So
yeah,
that's something to look at.
When your tank shell lags through the jeep and they still hit you, that's always annoying.
Saint, how did you not know this was a strat in Conquest?
Dude,
whatever.
Yeah, that was straight up style.
I only played 3 matches.
Oh my
Obviously,
lord, what is
Saint
wrong
never
with you?
played with Snack Pack.
I even tanked once, and I
lord.
never got jihaded. So.
Dude, you're
Saint, it's like a Team USA staple.
Yeah.
You should go watch some.
I played against Team USA though.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you?
Alright. Labim, I don't know if you've played Conquest before, as the Xbox community didn't really go into the bigger game modes. So I don't know if you have an opinion on this.
I played 10v10 on PS3, but we are only 7 guys at the moment, so I don't have any opinion on this.
Flip, please don't remind me. That was a dark period of my life. There's no need to put it back in our face. Zerk.
Yeah, I'm all for banning the law, active, whatever the missile ones, and what was the other thing? The other thing that you mentioned, right?
Active radar.
Yeah, all of them, just ban them. They're not skillful at all, and people are terrible that use them. The slams also, we need to look at those because yeah, there's obviously problems there. Oh yeah. As for the LVG stuff, I don't know if they're more powerful in Battlefield 4 than Battlefield 3 because I haven't really used them that much. But I don't know. I think we're all used to them from Battlefield 3, especially near the end. Thanks, Icon. You know,
No problem, homie.
I think you know, you can counter it, I feel. You know, if they did end up being banned, I don't see too much of a problem with it, but I don't think it's something that we should really spend more than about 10 minutes thinking about, you know, compared to the other things, you know, that are even much more terrible. You know?
Okay. I'm just gonna have Bugsy talk about the LVGs real quick, since his team was the one that really brought the pain to everyone on Battlefield 3.
Yeah, so the deal with the LVG thing is, it's not about just one guy doing it. You kind of need a good amount of your team doing it. Probably almost half your team. Well, in Battlefield 3, it was almost half your team doing it. For metros, we just had 1 or 2 guys on front stairs. Well, in a certain place hitting front stairs. Like you could be a good 50 feet behind front stairs and just destroy all the front stairs. But same for the red wall or red stairs. Sorry. Back stairs. I mean, you just had a couple of guys watching. But the whole idea behind it is to avoid the gunfight, so you avoid getting wiped on the flag. And I mean, obviously, avoiding a gunfight in that sense is kind of really unskillful. Like, it's shut down. If you want to go watch a game, go watch Sun versus Icon in the finals, and you'll see exactly what I mean. We had someone going 55-0 before he died. So it was, yeah. It was pretty broken.
But what makes Battlefield 4's LVGs the issue? If you could elaborate on that for those who are not aware.
Well, I mean, if you look at it on lockers, it's going to be amplified because of the fact that the choke points are completely different. I mean, like in Battlefield 3, you had a chance, but in Battlefield 4, I don't know, man. Those one-man doorways. I don't know how many LVGs you're going to get spit in there. I don't think you're going to get in there.
Yeah, but you know, when it comes to if we're gonna talk about the cluster maps, let's take Lockers and Metro, right? Metro was the definition of a cluster map, right? And they tried to remake it again with Lockers, but I still feel that it's still counterable to some degree. I feel. I mean,
well, then in that sense, you might want to look at just keeping in the IOSARON thing, because that's pretty much the only thing that's gonna stop that. Would be the
But that's a defensive item. That's the issue here.
Yeah.
Is both LVGs and MPAPS, IFSARON, whatever you want to call it, are defensive oriented rather than offensive oriented. So the team who gets middle flag holds the map.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I've just seen in the chat that the markers for the grenades are kind of screwed up at the moment.
Yeah, that's screwed up as well. So
I think knowing that, I think that's a bigger problem. Like when something like that in the game doesn't work, then I think we need to look at that. Because if you can't see where the grenade's coming from, I mean, that thing is in the game, but for that particular weapon, it just doesn't really work very well. Then now I think we need to look at it a bit more in depth.
I don't have the science. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, no, please.
I don't have the science behind this, but my theory on the LVG marker is every grenade in the game has the red circle, right? And then the grenade type in white inside of that. But the LVG doesn't have a white inside, so it's only a red circle on your screen. And when you have a bunch of other hand grenades nearby, you can't tell the difference. You can't tell if it's a layover from a previous grenade or a different grenade. So that's what makes the LVGs really deadly. On top of that, I think that they have a bigger blast radius than in Battlefield 3. I think all explosives tend to have a bigger blast radius.
You can run good 20 feet away from a fucking mini and you still die.
Well, the mini is getting...
Well, I understand that.
Well, I think, in that case, then, I think we should maybe consider... We probably should consider taking it out for the time being until DICE inevitably nerf it. You know?
Well, the thing with the Conquest stuff is there's nothing going on right now. The whole, like, if we had servers tomorrow, it'd be a little bit easier to test. I don't know how many people would actually still play, though, if we had servers tomorrow without any other fixes. But the thing with the diffuse, though, is that, like, you guys are all actively participating in it, and we aren't. Like, there's not been a single real Conquest game now, besides, like, an organized pub stack, and it's really not gone much farther than that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I was thinking for domination. Like, it's hard to make rules for a game that we haven't exactly dived into yet.
We tried to do 10v10 dom, and it was
ridiculous.
It was insane. It's too many players. The maps are small. It's crazy. The spawns are really bad, and the cap areas are even worse.
You can control the spawns with domination with 5 players, but you can't control it when there's 10. Like, there's people crossing the imaginary line. So.
Yeah, domination's chaotic right now. I've played 2 scrims of it. It's chaos.
What we should try, I don't know how many teams are gonna be up for this, is 16 obliteration for lockers to see whether the LVG thing...
Lockers, bro, you couldn't do it anyways because the spawns on... I don't know if you've played a lot of it, but you can literally get to them in the spawn point, and you can just sit in their spawn point.
Well, obviously you have to have a rule, you know, for the time being, obviously.
The map's literally just like that, though. Like, I don't think you're gonna have to have a... I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's worse on some maps than others. Like on Gold Mud, the parachute area is pretty big, but on Locker, you can spawn trap CTF and Battlefield 3 style. Watch them spawn.
Yeah. Like, it's just... it's not... Yeah, it sounds good until that you realize that your spawns are literally in the open and they can all shoot you right off a spawn. It's not like... It'd be better if they had like an actual spawn point in their spawn. Like, you know, it just doesn't work. But
well, I'm just saying to try it out for the LVG stuff while we wait for servers. I'm not saying it to...
Well, obliteration flows really differently than Conquest 2 is the thing about LVGs, MPAPS. It's fewer players and there's more mobility because of bomb location.
Because, I mean, if you get a bomb behind you, you're gonna fucking fall. Like, it's gonna be different than if you're just on Conquest, I think. But, I mean, we can definitely give it a try if somebody's up for it, but I don't know how many people are gonna be up for it.
Alright. I have a form for the defuse stuff. I'm gonna link it in the description below. Obviously don't share it, this is only for the people in here. You have to enter the team name on top, that's the first thing. So people that do it twice, well, I'm gonna know who it is.
Could I ask a quick question about this? Yes. In regards to... Have you already contacted the Dirk's team on this?
Yeah. In regards to?
This, what you're about to give out in the description, if it's pertaining to defuse.
It's only the people in here that are allowed to vote.
Alright, I see.
You know?
What I don't understand, though, is I've been trying to stay away from this, but I saw that video, it was fucking funny. But... I understand your grievances with it, but I think he was just trying to make the best out of a bad situation.
It had bad intentions.
Well, okay.
He used to be in my Skype chat. He left before I saw the video. Like,
I'm
gonna leave my Skype chat. You're not gonna come back to my TeamSpeak. He had bad intentions. Just trust me. Like,
it's a little bit more
funny.
Yeah. Hold on. I know I'm not in this, but I've talked to him, and there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Without delving into it.
I'm sorry for bringing it up, you know, but I don't know the full.
Look, I'm just gonna comment on it and then just not talk about it again. The video was made. Some people saw it. Some people didn't know what it was. When there is a problem, you know, we're adults for the most part, and we expect that if there's an issue, you can come talk to people in a polite and respectful manner, because after all, everyone in ESB isn't getting paid for this. We're doing this out of our own time. In addition, there was misinformation in the video, such as saying there were no prizes for the ladder when we had said plenty of times that there would be prizes for the playoffs. And second of all, them complaining that they couldn't play just because they couldn't do a ladder match. While you could still play your scrim, it just wouldn't count for a little figure on the bracket cloud. So there wasn't such a big issue as it was presented. And furthermore, when we did ask them politely and gave them a warning and asked them to remove the video, they didn't do that. I had to intervene myself, talk to Dirk, and get the video removed. That's why they received removal from this current council. Now, I'm all up for having them in the next ones, as long as they can maintain a respectful and polite approach towards everything. I hope that clarifies it for you, Zerk.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
I said I'm not here to babysit. I'm here to help the community. So are Kribo and Saint.
And Tony. And for
Tony.
the record, I found some of the parts of the video funny too, but there were some parts that were offensive and inaccurate, and there's a lot of story behind it, as Deuce said. So it's, you know, what you saw in the video is not necessarily how the situation unfolded in the chat or outside of the chat.
Okay.
But as a reminder to everyone for future issues, keep it polite, because when people are polite, you can easily find a solution. And that's it. And if there's a real big issue, come talk to me, and I'm not afraid to, deal with stuff myself. With that being said, enough with the drama-rama. I'm gonna pass out the link to the form. Accepting response. This is for the defuse only, so obviously if you feel that you don't have an opinion on this, like Bugsy, then go ahead and not vote on it, on anything. I haven't made a conquest form because there were only a couple things, and everyone seems to have a unanimous opinion on them. We will go into more detail on the conquest when it releases and when we start playing. So if there are issues and things need to change, we can go ahead and do that. So for now, I just have the MBT law, the staff shell, the active radar, and the slams, seeing as they're glitched, and that's up for discussion. So we'll see that in future councils. But right now, we will go ahead and vote on the 5v5 stuff. I'm just making sure it works, and it works. So go ahead and vote. I will make an article like I have for this last ESB Council, detailing for everyone else. So if you have your teammates that want to know what the results were, and I will this time put it on Google. The last one wasn't in good quality. Not on Google, on YouTube. So go ahead and vote. Let me know when you have voted.
Where can you vote?